Hey everyone, today is August 30th, 2023, and we're out on some of the logging roads. Extremely rainy day following maybe a 4-day beautiful stretch of nice weather without rain, and the foreseeable forecast actually has no chances of rain, which is unusual. This whole year has been our wettest, coolest year, and now we're finally going to get into some summer-like things. Next couple of days will be wall-to-wall sunshine, and one day we're even approaching the 90-degree mark, which we haven't done in many months. We'll have like a summer.
Welcome to Maine.
We'll have like a summer chance coming up this next week. Maybe that'll get some good things growing in the garden, which has been kind of stunted. I realized yesterday I finally got some cobs of corn starting to form, so in a few weeks those might be ready to pick. Did some more fertilizing. I'm about to have thousands of tomatoes off those plants. I'll make a video like that soon on my food channel, showing all that stuff. I find it relaxing being out in the middle of nowhere where you can probably go all day without passing another car. Nice rainy day. This road here is very packed down, so it's in pretty good shape from all the heavy log trucks. I just got off a road. It was like driving through wet concrete, because they just graded it. It's all soft, nothing's packed it down yet, and we tried to unclog a pipe. We were successful 6 weeks ago. We got it 100% open. That'll be an upcoming video. The Beavers now have a 2-foot dam that wasn't there across or along the entire road, making the pond even deeper. I went down, I located the culvert today. It was pretty wide open. Then I felt the blockage, which was a few feet in there, started poking it with the rake, snapped the rake off in there. Now it was out of reach of my hands or anything else, so we flagged it a little bit more. That'll be a job for the excavator whenever it comes out. They need to hit it with a telephone pole or something to knock it out of there. But before they should even do that, they got to get the beaver trapper out there, or it could be the same situation, potentially even overnight, but that was now proven by me to be a secondary pond, so it's who knows when they could build back. It could be that night, it could be a month, who knows. It took them at least 4 weeks to rebuild this time, because 2 weeks ago during a check nothing was there, but now they built back so much, because when a beaver discovers a dam missing, they think it failed from natural causes, and they'll build it back twice as strong next time, thinking that it just failed. They don't realize why it's gone, and they will incorporate more rocks, more rugged material, crooked material. They'll even put pricker bushes or other junk in there, thinking it'll strengthen it up even more. And right now we're driving over that bridge that was out most of the spring, and we have to keep driving through the river. They finally rebuilt that bridge there nicely, because you may have seen a video I made where I got underneath and it was showing the foundation was very eroded. Maybe that was just temporary, maybe they didn't care, I don't know, but they recently they fixed the whole thing again. There's a lot of situations out here where a bridge should be put in instead of whatever pipe is there, since it just washes out so often. The bridges themselves, they're put in a cheap way, but it's more cost effective than putting one in with actual foundations. These are just usually on concrete blocks with a rock barrier over them. The water can get high, but if the water ever approached the deck of the bridge, the thing's going to be gone. But it's cheaper to rebuild it than make a really permanent one out here, because winter would work on it pretty fast. Any concrete that's out here. It's so wet out here, active groundwater, the ground is moving around like crazy. The only way to solve that would be, they just wouldn't do it. It would cost millions of dollars per mile like they do on the public roads, because what we're driving on now, this shifts around. It's too wet. They'd have to replace everything here, build it up nice and high where things freeze and can't expand into it. So high that things wouldn't be able to freeze and expand in the first place. It would protect it. This is a really nice rainstorm. I like it. Maybe we'll come out here when the weather gets a little nicer next week, try to do some things again. I'm soaked right now from that last thing we just did. I like driving. This has been a nice year. It hasn't been very dusty. I haven't had to clean the inside of the truck, because usually dust gets in here really easily traveling on these roads. Last year, almost every day was a dust storm because we were in such a drought. This year we got so much rain, dust. I was probably only on the logging roads 2 days the whole year where it was dusty, and that's saying a lot. All it takes is one nice sunny day, like literally tomorrow. If tomorrow was in the 80s for temperature, this would be a dust storm. That's how fast it can happen in the sun. Tomorrow is not going to be that hot. It's supposed to be like 66. But in a couple days, it'll be nice and warm. Not nice and warm. I don't like the heat, but yeah. Oh, we got some logging going on there, and they're working here. Yes. That's weird. They dragged the whole tree out to the road. And usually they don't do that. They usually cut the top off and leave it wherever they found it. I wonder what they're doing with the tree top. Maybe wood chips for a power plant? I don't know why they dragged the whole thing out like that. It's usually not what they do, but yeah. I don't like the heat. The other day, my air conditioner broke, so I bought another one, and because in my area, look at this year, it's been cool. It's usually cool, so most people don't have central air or any of that, so I just have a window air conditioner. I just replaced mine, and the new one doesn't go down cold. The old one, you could bring it way down cold. This new one, it won't go below 65, which wasn't good enough. So what I did was, and I'll probably make a little video on this at some point, I had, well, for years I was a electrical apprentice, and I can confidently hardwire a house or certain commercial buildings, but I don't know anything about electronics. So in the air conditioner, I know you could probably bypass its thermostat, so it would just keep running and running. So what I did was, instead of that, just took the cover off of it. On the grill of it, there's a little temperature sensor. All I did was, I bought with a USB plug, so you can plug it in the wall with a phone charger, a heater that's meant for a shoe. Just put that around the sensor to make sure the air conditioner never shuts off. And then I plugged the air conditioner into a temperature switch into the wall. So now the temperature switch is what controls the air conditioner. And now you can potentially bring that room down to 40 degrees if I wanted to. Haven't tried it that cold yet, but it has the potential now to bring it down extremely cold. Because I do run very hot. It's why you guys always wonder how I can do those sub-zero camping videos without a problem. That's why I usually don't do well in the heat. And I usually can't fall asleep if it's above 65 or 70 at all. It's always how I've been. And I realized for a while this week, I could not sleep. I was so exhausted, felt so weak, and I figured out it's because the stupid air conditioner wasn't working. It took me a couple days to figure that out. Because it was turning on and off, but it wasn't going down to what it was set to. Here we come up to another bridge. Is this brand new? Yes, it is. We were out here like a week ago filming, and they had all this brand new timber up on the side there where you see it. The bridge is already torn up a little bit. They brought one of their, probably a log skid across it with the big rugged chains. It already tore up a little bit of it, but last time we came here, there was holes punched through it because that machine punched through the rotten areas. This is where they were working last time. They still got a pile of logs that got to be picked up for the log truck. They don't run the trucks often when it's rainy like this because they know they'll sink. They'll give it a couple days for the roads to kind of become solid again, which will happen fast with the expected sunny weather. So right now we're just on our way to do one more check in a place that we do not need the rake that I just broke. We sometimes use the rake to tidy up, but that's not important today. We can get it done pretty well. This bridge was not here 2 years ago. 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, at some point recently, that was just a really big culvert. But after washing out a couple years in a row, they decided to do that. There's another logging site. Around here, they log in little patchwork, a little here, a little there. It's better for the forest because And what they're doing there is not thinning. They're doing little teeny clear cuts that are only like an acre or so a piece. And those fill back in because they don't bake in the sun like crazy. When you log like 100 acres at once, a gigantic open field, the sun just bakes it. It kills the seedlings. There's nothing keeping moisture there anymore. Like last year, it was so dry. There's certain areas that they replanted. It was just total losses. We still see them this year. Areas where there's like 5-foot, 10-foot seedlings, as far as the eye can see, just dead. They're not coming back. So I wonder, are they going to replant it, or are they just going to let whatever wants to grow there? I don't know. Certain logging companies, they don't replant anything. It's just random whatever grows back, because they don't care what grows back, since it's for pulpwood or energy purposes. They don't care what it is. But energy purposes meaning they got wood burning and power plants all over the place in New England. That's how they say they're over 90% green energy. They're growing trees to burn them and pulpwood. But certain areas, they want it all to be the same. A lot of times balsam fir is what they grow back, and they plant that. It looks like a Christmas tree farm until it starts to really grow in, and 40 years they cut it down again. We don't have many lumber forests around here. Not that I've seen anyways. I've definitely seen the trucks, but not the forest I go in, which are white pine. Usually take about 70 years to grow or so. The rain is definitely not as heavy as when we first started. A couple more miles, we'll be approaching a beaver swamp that we had a really good series of videos on in the spring. I have it titled Lower Beaver Swamp in my playlist section on post 10. They had a dam for us every single week we came out. The trail cameras I left overnight a bunch of times proved they were doing it every single night instantly, because they lived there. Although I still think it was a secondary pond, but they were right next to each other, so they responded as if it was their primary pond. That'll be coming up soon. That's probably where I'll end this video. They graded this part of the road a couple months back. It's already, it's solid now. Not slippery anymore in the rain. Yeah, these beavers were relocated at this location. They relocated them about 2-3 years ago also. They came back this year. They'll probably come back again in another year or two. We'll see. When a beaver finds an abandoned swamp like that, it's very easy for them to move back in. They just fix up the abandoned beaver swamp. The abandoned beaver lodge and the swamp, yeah. Which is pretty easy. And they just put a quick dam up in the culvert that takes like a couple hours or a day. Now they have a pond. They usually don't target or even go look for the beaver lodge, the logging company. But if they destroyed that lodge, it would make it a little bit more challenging for the beaver, another beaver, to just come back. But I don't think it makes that big of a difference, because if the beaver found a pond anyways, it doesn't really matter, I guess. It's just a pain in the butt. You're not going to get a machine out there easily. Yeah, this whole road was destroyed back in the spring from the spring thaw. They did a good job repairing it. It looks pretty good now. The road's very good. It had a lot of eroded edges that were scary to drive near. All fixed. It was a bad spring. We didn't have that much rain. It was a dry spring, but early spring was dry anyways. It could have been catastrophic. We had an 86-degree day with 2 feet of snow on the ground, if you saw that video. My feet felt like they were going to get frostbite while I was sweating walking around in the woods that day. weeks, these fields will be very beautiful as this goldenrod is completely in bloom. It's getting close. Another week or two, it'll all be yellow fields all over the place. I have a lot of that on my property too. It'll be bright yellow all over the place in a week or two. Everywhere. And that'll last a little bit. The bees love that stuff. They're all over it. Lots of bumblebees all over the place. Here's a culvert. This was logged last year. It's starting to grow with a little bit of grass, zero replanting. I guess they assume when they do just a little bit here and there, the trees around it will just drop seeds, which is usually true, since they didn't open up any giant areas. The pine trees they usually plant back really nicely, if that's what they intend on. Nice, beautiful red tree we just drove by, getting ready for the fall colors, which are expected to come early this year in the area. I've already gone through some areas that look beautiful already. Starting to change colors, fall foliage, very easy this year. The rain, when you have a wet year, the fall foliage is always more beautiful. Last year, I don't know, it was a drought, so I don't expect it to have been good, but I wasn't around for it. We're not as far down this road as I thought. This road's very smooth right here. It's got a log truck up here in the road. That thing looks pretty new. A lot of them are very rusted. Because blasting through puddles and mud, it like sandblast anything that's metal. That's why I gotta paint the frame of my vehicle every year. Go underneath, it just looks like it was sandblasted. I usually do that in the fall, right before the road salt starts, while the weather's still good enough to be painted. This is slippery right here. This is where they had a massive washout in the spring. This whole road was gone. I'm going to keep it slow. If there's a big storm, a lot of the mud is just going to pour out of their sites here. It might dribble down there. Right in front of me, that used to be a road. It's been a while. Wow, there's like a whole road in there now. Alright, so yeah, we'll be there in like less than 5 minutes now that we hit that blockage. That's like the landmark I look for, where I usually would start filming when we're approaching a blockage that we planned on being there. Nothing is going to be there today, I don't think so. The rain is slowing down though, in case we had to do something. It would not be a fun day. I'd still attempt it, but it would not be a fun day today without the rake. It would be a good day to remove the dam though. I'm sure that culvert is flowing a lot, which is always makes it easier when you got good flow in there. This was all logged last year, this area. Mile marker 3 until the next major artery. So I think we're around 1.5 miles now, or maybe not. I think I remember. No, we're right here, I think. I think the upper Beaver swamp is right here and to the left. Maybe coming up. That's why I call what we unclog Lower Beaver Swamp. Couldn't think of a better name for that series of videos. Alright, Upper Beaver Swamp is literally right next to us. I see it down there. A lot of their beaver pond is drained somehow. I don't know how the dam failed. This is a brand new culvert from the spring. You look over, nothing behind it, so that's basically a cue that there's going to be nothing right here at our typical spot. Let's pull over a little bit right here. Yeah, that's low. There's nothing down there. Definitely not. I can still see like the 3-foot bathtub rings around the pond of where the water used to be. Road is torn up right here. It looks like they brought a heavy machine down here, hugging that corner there. Since it rained a lot, it doesn't look that much like the rain's been on it. But they're going back the other way, so we already passed them if they're on that side of the road. Rain is just about stopped now at this point. Alrighty, I hope this little video is interesting, everybody. Oh, it looks like that machine was parked there. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.